Hey everybody, my name's Brian and I like barbecue. Barbecue Brian's back. Glorious, nice fall Saturday out today here in southwest Minnesota. It's about 45 degrees, kind of gloomy. To be honest with you, I love this time of year where you can just throw on a hoodie and be outside. Gonna be smoking up a meatloaf today. We're gonna do it on the UDS. And we are going to use a baffle plate. UDSparts.com did send me a few parts. I did provide them with some pictures on my build, and in turn, they sent me out some parts to use. So I'm pretty appreciative for that. Pretty cool. But I will go over that baffle plate before I put it in there and just kind of sort of show you which one I wanted and which one I'm going to be using. But we're going to be smoking a meatloaf today, so let's go over real quick how I'm going to put it together. Okay, we got some ingredients here. We have 2 pounds of 85 15 ground beef. Throw that in the bowl. We got 1 pound of ground Italian sausage. This is from a local grocery store, kind of sort of called Fairway. They got a really good meat department. Usually got some pretty good fresh stuff. So 2 pounds beef, 1 pound pork. To that, we're gonna add. Well, this is a half of a large onion and 1 green pepper that I diced up. And to that, we're gonna add a little bit of barbecue sauce right to the meat. Today we're using this countryside barbecue sauce. Countryside barbecue sauce. You know, I never remember seeing this stuff growing up, but you know, they have it around here, and they also sell a jalapeno one. The jalapeno one's a little bit too spicy for me, but this is some good stuff. Let's add, you know, a couple swigs or a couple limes in there. We're gonna add 1 beaten egg, and then this is about a cup of breadcrumbs. And then we are also going to add some seasoning right to it, some barbecue rub. We're going to use the Tailgaters BBQ Party Rub. Just, again, I haven't put this stuff in anything that hasn't been just amazing with it, so hopefully it's good on the meatloaf. But now that we got all that combined, we're just going to go ahead and give this a mix. That's going to be about good for me. Just going to press this down into the bowl. And then I'm going to throw this in the fridge probably for about a half hour. Just kind of maybe let it set a little bit. And then I will, you know, put this onto a piece of frog mat, make it into a loaf, and then it'll be ready for the grill. So I will pick back up here in just a little bit. All right, we are down at the UDS. Just real quick, go over this this baffle right here. This is their extreme duty 10 gauge baffle. You can kind of see when you look at it that the holes in the center are small, and then as they get closer to the outside, here I talk through the hole. As they get closer to the outside, they get larger. I did go ahead and spray this whole thing down with some canola oil, and this thing is beefy. I'm telling you right now. This is not going to have any issues warping. So I do have the charcoal lit. We are using B&B oak lump, and let's go ahead and put this thing together, and I'll show you how I do that. And correction, the charcoal I am using is the B&B oak briquettes, not the oak one. I love this B&B oak briquettes. I actually found another store today in a different town in Iowa that's got it. But I got this thing started with 2 tumbleweeds. This is about 1/3 of a basket. It's a meatloaf. It's not going to take that long to cook. So what I am going to do is just go ahead and add some chunks, or all I got left is little chips of hickory. Get some chips of hickory to this. That should be good. Now the baffle goes in, and you know, I showed you when I built this that I put them bolts in towards the bottom for a baffle, and that sits right there. The grill grate goes in as so. So that's a pretty cool setup. I'm really looking forward to see what this does for, because it's still direct, but it's indirect in a way, you know, because it should, you know, disperse the heat evenly. So pretty excited to see how this adds to the performance of this barrel. So now, besides that, go ahead and close this thing down. I'm going to run all the vents wide open until I start to see an increase in temp, and I'm going to try to get this thing balanced out right around 275. So I will pick back up when we're throwing the loaf on. Let's go ahead and throw the loaf on. Just right there in the middle. You can see if you put that loaf together on a piece of frog mat like that, it's really easy to move in and off of, you know, of a tray to a grill grate, and then when I'm done with it, from the grill grate back to the tray. I do see people using the like cooking the meatloafs in the pan. I'm not a fan of that. I just think that it kind of, I don't know, I've just never been a fan of like cooking that meatloaf all in its own grease and stuff. I think I initially said that we're gonna shoot for 275 for a target temp for the for the internal temp on the pit today. I think we're gonna do like 250 to 275. We're going to try to keep it below 275. I'm going to check this in about an hour, and at 1 hour mark, I am going to stick an internal temp probe into the loaf. So when I do that, I will pick back up. So we'll see you then. We are back. We are we're 1 hour into the cook. Just put a probe in the meatloaf. Sitting at about 125, 126. But there it is. Take in a little closer. Looking pretty dang good. This pit has been holding perfectly right at 260. My main goal with this UDS is, I don't know why, but I always love to keep that exhaust stack wide open and then just adjust my intakes. And I've been able to do that with ease. I don't know if you can see it, but you can. You can see that's where that one is. Just a sliver open, and that's about half open. I could probably do this just with one vent a little easier, but I mean, I have 2 intakes, so why not use them both? So now besides that, I'm going to, this thing's closed down. I am going to let this go up to about an internal about 150, 155, and then I'm going to sauce the outside with some barbecue sauce. So when I do that, I will pick back up. So we are back. Internal temp right now on the meatloaf is at 155-ish. So I'm going to go ahead and pour a little bit of a glaze on this, or some barbecue sauce on it. It's going to be a glaze. This is the sauce we're using this countryside barbecue sauce. But really easy how to do this is I just take it and pour it right over the top. And sometimes I brush it on, but most of the time I just kind of let it settle. Just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and close this thing back down. And now I'm going to let this thing finish off to about 165 internal. And I will pick back up one more time when it's time to eat. So we will see you then. So we are back and it is time to eat. Real quick, I'm going to go over the cook times. 3-pound loaf. 3 pounds of meat, and then you can add on a little bit more for the ingredients that I put in it. But this took right about 2.5 hours at anywhere in between 250 and 265, we'll say. I gotta say that that extreme duty 10 gauge UDS baffle plate from udsparts.com. One thing I noticed with that is the temps don't spike quite as high, which makes sense because you got a diverter in there. But without a diverter in there or a baffle plate in there, when you open up that lid, and if you do anything for more than like 10 seconds, the temps kind of spike. With that in there, it did not. You'll have to excuse Mini Mad Horse. He's kind of a little bit of a deviant when he doesn't get fed quick enough. And actually, Ms. Mad Horse is feeding him with 2 spoons, and it's still not good enough for him. So someday he'll learn. I'll just add to my list for when he's older. But anyways. Super impressed with it, and like I said, super heavy, heavy duty. It's 10 gauge, so again, pretty dang cool. I'm looking forward to do a lot more cooks on that thing. But let's go ahead and slice into this. I'm just gonna slice it right down the middle, and why not use a brisket knife? There's the loaf. It's still pretty dang hot still. I guess I'll try to lift it up there. Give you a little peek. Looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and try a slice here real quick. That is really good. I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I wasn't sure how that Tailgater's BBQ Party Rub would do on that meatloaf, but I will, that is really good. That B&B charcoal too with a few chunks of hickory in it. Again, super good flavor, and I don't think I got anything else. I'm going to go ahead and slice the rest of this up, plate it up for the family here. Mini Mad Horse says whatever he's saying, if you can, make out what he's saying. But besides that, you guys and girls have a good night. I really appreciate you watching, and we will see you next time.